Hello everybody, my name is Caitlin Myers. Welcome to my video presentation. Today I wanted to cover how the spread of communism affected the American psyche. The first Red Scare followed World War I. Then later, after World War II, the fear of German influence in America switched to the fear of Soviet influence, or more specifically, the fear of communism. As communism and democracy are opposing systems of governance, its temporary rise in popularity in American liberalism was of concern to the U.S. government. Due to this, an extreme aversion to the rise of socialism as a whole was employed. This led to a sort of paranoia to take hold of American communities. People were suspicious of even their neighbors being potential communists. Friends and families turned on each other over political differences and viewpoints. During the first Red Scare in 1991, minorities became a main group under accusation as communist sympathizers. A journal from Adam Hodges titled Understanding a National and Global Red Scare/Red Summer Through the Local Invention of Solidarities covers how in 1921, Colonel Robert T. Kurlan, professor and head of the English Department of the Virginia Military Influence, addressed a letter to Governor Thomas C. McRae of Arkansas in protest of the impending executions of black men who became scapegoats in the wake of another local event known as the Elaine Massacre in Arkansas. This letter led to the Moore v. Dempsey Supreme Court ruling. The writing later goes on to mention Irish Americans who also became targets of accusations of communism as well. The methodology of this source mainly analyzes the writings of Kurlan and other writers' views on the Red Scare, rather than the Red Scare itself. The content summarizes these writings and gives critiques of them. The conclusion is that there was a real political development of communism in America that should not be underscored simply because of the oppression that the fear led to. Similarly, many were used as scapegoats for the fear of communism in America during the second Red Scare. In Americanism and Anti-Communism, the UAW, Repressive Liberalism Before the Red Scare, by Charles Williams, liberalism was associated with communism, and this led to many liberals being labeled as communists regardless of any truth in the association. This isn't, however, to say that there wasn't some influence the Soviet Union did not have over the left-wing ideologies, as an increase in American alignment with socialism did rise following the New Deal. The methodology of this source argues that a more positive historical mindset that does not match the reality of this era has been adopted largely by the UAW when discussing the time frame. The content is made up of different events during the time period to support the argument, while the conclusion merely affirms this viewpoint as a whole. It seems the studies of the Red Scare tend to focus on the innocents that became caught up in the rampant accusations of the time, but still manage to acknowledge that there was a literal threat of communism taking place in America. Thank you for listening.